Hello everybody. Today I am here with a tutorial showing you how I make the magic circle. My version differs a little bit from the traditional, which I never really was able to understand, and so I ended up figuring it out a different way. And in case anybody else has struggled with it, I figured I would go ahead and put this tutorial out there in case somebody else might learn from this and be able to start making the magic circle for themselves. The magic circle is a very handy little trick when you are working in the round. It's the alternative to maybe having your starting chain 3 and trying to crochet into the center. You'll never really have a closed gap when you do that method. What's lovely about the magic circle is that once you have finished crocheting into the circle, you just pull the tail and like magic, it cinches closed. So I'm going to show you how I make the magic circle, and I'm going to use the Bernat Maker Home Deck yarn. I like it because it is great with stitch definition, and for tutorial purposes that can only be a good thing. So let's get started. The first thing is that you have the yarn tail. So the yarn tail is in my right hand and the working yarn is in my left. The working yarn is the yarn coming from the ball or the skein or the cake or what have you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loop, and I'm going to do that by crossing my yarn tail over my working yarn. So you'll see that the yarn tail is just kind of sitting on top of the working yarn. So I've got my loop, and now the next step is to just take that loop and fold it down on top of the working yarn. So again, here is my yarn tail, and I folded it down onto the working yarn, which is coming from the skein or the ball in this case. And all you do is you grab your crochet hook and you just kind of reach in and grab that working yarn and pull it up through the loop. To secure it, you're going to just do a chain 1, and there you go. I like to hold on to the magic circle at the twist. I find that if I don't and I start pulling on my circle a lot, sometimes the tail would pull through. Definitely leave a long tail for weaving in your ends later, and holding it at the twist will help keep everything kind of stationary for you. So then at this point you are ready to start working your pattern. If your pattern calls for a round of single crochet, then you can do your chain 1 and single crochet, or if you have double crochet, then chain 2, so on and so forth. For the purposes of this, I'm going to show it to you with a single crochet. So I chained 1 there at the beginning to secure my magic circle. You can chain another one. I typically don't, but that's just my personal preference. So I'm going to do 6 single crochets into my magic circle. So again, I'm holding it with my thumb and my middle finger of my left hand at that twist, while holding my tension with the working yarn. And I'm just going to single crochet right into the middle of that circle. Typically when you're working a first round of single crochet, you usually start with 6. It's the most common number I found, although it can be whatever your pattern calls for. So we'll go ahead and do 6. There's 3, 4. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. 5 and 6. So now what you'll notice is I've still got my twist. And if you hold on to your first single crochet, that's usually where I hold on to it as I'm cinching, you'll take your yarn tail and just pull. Wow. So you'll pull it tight and either continue working in a spiral, or in this case for mine, I'm just going to join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet that I made. And even if you still got a tiny gap right there, if you can see that, I can just pull that tail a little tighter once I've gotten that round closed, and it's gone. Just like that. It's just that easy. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if there's any other stitches or techniques that you think you might like to see, definitely let me know. Thanks, guys. Bye.